Hey everybody, this is the Scentatar channel coming right back at you. I appreciate all you guys' support out there for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to make these videos for you guys and with you guys. Hope you truly enjoy that. There's a connection here. I'm helping you guys, find some new fragrance, and it's an exploration. There's always something new around the corner, so that's what's so fun about it. But I'm sure you can see the title, but this is the top 10 unique designer fragrances. I think these are some of the best designer fragrances. They're a little bit different. They're a little bit unique. So I hope they find a place, or at least you find one in this collection, or maybe even a flanker of one of these that fits your collection, that you kind of like, that's a little bit different, and something I guess you can wear that you're going to smell a little bit more unique, and that you're going to be a little bit more special. It's kind of fun to have something a little bit exclusive, and a lot of the time they don't have to be have exclusive prices. They don't have to be like Diaghilev or other fragrances that are $1,000 plus. A lot of these are around 30, so can't beat that, guys. Let's jump into it. So the first one I wanted to bring to y'all is actually one of my favorites. It's Zurius Rouge. Now Zurius Rouge has been reformulated. This is a different bottle, but believe it or not, I like this version better. It is brighter, it projects a lot better, but the longevity is a little bit less. I get about 6 hours or so longevity, and the projection, the sillage are actually pretty good. So that's not bad, but what does it smell like? Zurius Rouge is a beautifully smooth and soft kind of combination between like a light and airy cactus, with a good bit of sweetness, almost like a guava type note, but not exactly. It does have almost the feel like it has red fruits in it, but not quite. It has a little bit of like a little bit of a wet feel in a way, and it has a little bit of a powdery feel in a way. It's really a unique fragrance. It does smell a little bit elegant. I think this is the kind of fragrance that would do very well with maybe a coat, or with red velvet, or wearing a red velvet suit. I think it has a little bit of almost like a believe it or not, a sugar daddy kind of vibe to it. So Zurius Rouge has a little bit of that like old school OG kind of feel. It certainly is modern, and or at least a classic. One of my favorite fragrances, guys, and for the price, you really can't beat it. This stuff is great quality and it's quite unique. So Zurius Rouge. Now guys, we jump to one that, again, some of these might be hidden gems. I think this is one of them. It's a Vera Wang for men. Now Vera Wang makes women's fragrances predominantly, women's clothes and fashion, all those kinds of things. But Vera Wang for men was a step in the direction of starting their own fragrance line. I think it does have a little bit of that metro feel going on, that they used some of the notes or some of the similar composition that they might have used in some of their women's fragrances. So, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. It starts off with a lot of very beautiful orange blossom. Then it kind of becomes more of a smooth, kind of tonka, kind of iris smelling fragrance. The fragrance is, it's very good overall, but it has this musky aspect to it. So if you're a guy who doesn't love orange and doesn't particularly like muskiness, this might not be the fragrance for you. It is a little bit sweet and smooth. It's definitely not offensive. I don't think it's particularly masculine. If there's a confident lady out there, or maybe you wanted to share this with your significant other, I think this could work for you. So this fragrance is certainly a little bit unique and a little bit different. I don't know of anything else in the market like it. Honestly, I kind of shy away from it. This is from my dad's collection again. But not a bad fragrance, guys, not at all. And the longevity and the projection is all right, so can't complain about it. Now, guys, y'all are sleeping. Y'all are sleeping on fragrances like this. This is Guerlain Les Eaux Boisées. Now, Les Eaux Boisées is a flanker to Guerlain Homme. I have talked about the Parfum Intense on my top 10 green designer fragrance list. But this one is simply beautiful too. Even the original is beautiful. So that's saying something. This fragrance is, I think, a little bit lighter and has a little bit more citrus and a little bit less of the green mojito note, which kind of smells like a lime alcohol. But it's very beautiful, very nice. So it still has a little bit of booziness. It still has a little bit of greenness, but it's a little bit more citrus, and it has a good bit more of woodiness. But this woodiness is like a very light woodiness, a very transparent wood. And I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know of a lot of fragrances that have a transparent wood note, unless it's something like Eccentric Molecules or the like, that's trying to, do that or be that. So this fragrance is very refreshing. It's very good for, it could be pulled off in spring. It could be pulled off in fall, but I think this is a spectacular summer fragrance. But again, it would be good in spring. So I recommend this one. I think it was Simply Put Scents who really started bringing this to the fragrance world. I don't know if I've seen a video from you in a while, Simply Put Scents, so I'd love to see you again. And I appreciate that you brought this to our awareness, that you let us know about it. So that's Les Eaux Boisées by Guerlain. Now guys, I'm pretty sure this is another one that's a hidden gem out there. This is Baldassari's Del Mar Marbella edition. So this Marbella edition is a beautiful fragrance, guys. I think it does have a good bit of orange to it, but overall you kind of get like a guava feel. There might be an exotic fruit out there that smells more closely to it. It simply is beautiful, guys. It's very smooth. It's a little bit sweet. It's not particularly syrupy, but it almost smells like a very exotic, like fruit juice in a way. It still has some lightness to it and some playfulness. I think it has a little bit of tonka. The woods are blended in well in the base. Again, this is a fragrance that doesn't last particularly long, maybe 4 hours or so, but the fragrance is beautiful. And the projection, the sillage are just all right. I think this is one of those kinds of fragrances that if you're going to an event that's only going to last a couple hours, I mean, hey, this isn't going to hurt. And it does have a unique smell. It smells very good quality for the money, guys. Very good quality. So if you've been looking for like an exotic fruit fragrance, something that smells very uplifting, very good for the summer, maybe even for like summer nights, I think this would be spectacular. I think this is playful enough that if you're a unique person, if you're kind of a character, that this could be pulled off in a romantic situation. It does have a little bit of sweetness, and it does have some playfulness to it. So this Marbella edition was a really good surprise, guys. Hope you'll check that one out too. So keep going on strong. Here's D-Squared's Potion. This is the Blue Cadet Flanker. So this is the flanker of original D-Squared Potion. This one doesn't really have any similarities to that one. That one I reviewed and gave a very good review, an outstanding recommendation. That one was ambery and a little bit spicy, a little bit waxy. It was simply beautiful, high quality stuff. But this one, I guess you could say it has a tiniest bit of that waxy feel, but it is a good bit aquatic. Not necessarily citrusy, but aquatic, but it manages to be one of the safest aquatics, if that can even be said, because aquatics are generally very safe. It has a balance of that salt and seaweed, that sea breeze and everything else. That's all in harmony. It doesn't smell particularly distinct. It would be a very safe, kind of inoffensive smell. But what's so good about this fragrance is that it has a good amount of tonka, and it has something else they put in it. Something kind of different, guys. Hope you'll forgive the cat. It lasts a good bit, and when it dries down, it becomes almost like a skin scent. It becomes almost like it has tonka. Something really interesting in it. I can't put my nose on it. If you do know what the note is, or what kind of magic they spun in this bottle, let me know in the comments below. But guys, if you wanted something like Starwalker, which is a good, could be considered or put on this list, I thought it was, maybe not as interesting as maybe this one. So if you like those really safe fragrances that are a little bit blue and last a good bit, this one would be just fine. Perfect for casual wear, for business wear. If you're that kind of business guy who wants to smell a little bit good, but you're around some sensitive noses, this is the kind of fragrance that is something a little bit different. Guys, it feels full-bodied. I just can't put it into words. It feels a little bit aquatic and full-bodied at the same time, which is really unique. So this is D-Squared's Potion Blue Cadet. Now guys, I'm going to jump to one that's a cult favorite, with good reason. This is Encre Noir. Now this is, a lot of these fragrances on this list can be found about 30. This one can be found closer to 20. So some of these are a good bit cheaper even than 30, and that's quite a good deal for these fragrances. But Encre Noir is a very interesting fragrance. If you've been looking for your dark woody fragrance and your balsamic kind of fragrance, that's kind of not exactly dry, but it almost feels that way. If you wanted something that almost smelled like patchouli, but doesn't really, this is it, guys. If you're a guy who likes to wear black, if you're a little bit on the goth side, and nothing's wrong with that if you want to be, this is your juice right here. And for like $25 or so, I mean, this stuff it smells like a $100 fragrance. This stuff's quality is great. It's great quality for the money. It does smell a little bit serious. It does smell a good bit mature. So if you're a younger guy and you read really good recommendations from people who really love this, please don't blind buy it. This isn't really a safe blind buy for the younger man especially. But it's quite a good fragrance. It's dark, very woody. It's a bit balsamic. It has a little bit of that balsamic vinegar type of feel. It almost smells like it has patchouli. I'm sure it has a touch of amber and a small touch of spice, but really it just smells smooth and dark. It almost smells niche, guys. This certainly is getting in niche territory, and that this one is not mass appealing. This one's kind of the opposite of the Blue Cadet. This one is not going to be safe in every situation. So, wear with caution, but enjoy it, guys. It's a great fragrance for the money. So here we go to a very interesting one. This is Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, Living Stromboli. Now, I honestly don't know if this was meant to be sold or kind of means something else to the, I think it was Italian or Spanish communities. But that's kind of a funny name. It doesn't really mean anything to me with the fragrance. For me, this fragrance smells like light blue, but it smells smoother. It smells like maybe it has less lemon. It smells a little bit less citrusy. But again, it has more smoothness, maybe with tonka, that makes it last a good bit longer. Makes it I guess more full-bodied. But it almost has a Versace Pour Homme vibe. So, if you can imagine Versace Pour Homme, but maybe just a little bit more playful, and it doesn't project as loud in the opening. Versace Pour Homme's longevity overall is pretty good, but especially in the first hour, that stuff's kicking, at least with my bottle. This stuff is a little bit more calm. So, if that sounds like something you'd like, Versace Pour Homme, which is a safe, excellent business fragrance, this is a good all-around aquatic that smells kind of like a professional. That isn't too loud at all in any way, and has a little bit less powderiness, or maybe that soapy feel that Versace Pour Homme has. This is good stuff, guys. I definitely think there's some similarities there, so if that sounds like a juice that you want in your collection, definitely go for it. And I don't know if this one's discontinued, but I think it's one that's going to be. So that's Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue. living stromboli. So go for that one. Now we're going to one that is priced right, guys, like $35 or so, but this one's almost extinct. And I know some people dislike that in a fragrance review when they share something that's discontinued or hard to get or, is the first formulation. But guys, this stuff is really interesting. I had to share it. This is Guerlain's own Pininfarina. Now, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, so if you Google it, I'm sure you can find it. This is kind of like Guerlain's own. It has a little bit of that mojito note peeking through here and there, but mostly what you get with this fragrance is a Santal style fragrance. A Santal style fragrance is like a light aromatic fragrance that has like an ambery note that's carrying through and has a good amount of spiciness. This is probably my favorite Santal fragrance so far because I just think it's interesting. I still think it's light and kind of citrusy. So it's kind of playful. I love wearing this in the summer because you're getting something light and kind of ambery. It has a good amount of tonka. It's smooth. And then every once in a while you kind of smell like a green kind of mojito, that kind of lime smell. And you're like, where did that come from? And then it kind of seems to go away. And then every once in a while you catch it again. So this is a really playful fragrance, I think, for the summer. I think if you're around people who know fragrances and you want to have a little fun, I don't think a lot of people know about it. And it keeps changing, keeps going back and forth, so that'd be fun. I hope somebody does that. Let me know how that goes. But Guerlain own Pininfarina is another one of those fragrances I wish that wasn't discontinued. I do like it, so let me know if you get your hands on this little beauty. Let me know what you think about it. So guys, I know I mentioned it before, I had to bring it out. This is Mont Blanc Starwalker. Now, Starwalker, I don't think it's related to Star Wars, even though they did put a little emblem on it. I thought that was kind of cute or funny. But guys, this stuff is probably the best safe fragrance you can get your hands on. This stuff smells good quality. It is light and it's playful. It's definitely not offensive. But it has kind of like an interesting starfruit note off the top. Now, starfruit note smells almost something like a pineapple, but it's a little bit different. It definitely, maybe it's in between a pineapple and a quince or a quince. That's a fruit, and I've seen and tasted it, but I don't know if that helped you at all. But so it's got a little bit of tropical fruitiness, almost like a pineapple off the top. It's smooth. It's playful. It's blue. It's kind of like the Cadet, where the aquatic notes are all blended, just in harmony. None of the aquatic notes stand out. It doesn't smell particularly like cucumber, salt, seaweed, anything like that. It's just playful. I would call this fragrance a ozonic fragrance. The Blue Cadet tends to be a little bit more full-bodied with a little bit of like a waxiness or a tonka kind of feel. This one has like an ozonic feel. So it smells kind of like wispy, kind of airy. And this fragrance is one of my fragrances I bought early in my fragrance journey. And I really liked it for a while. So guys, if you're new to fragrances, want something safe for office work, want something that you're probably not going to overspray, this is the kind of fragrance for you. It's a really good gift for a nephew or for somebody first getting into fragrances. Just like Lacoste Pour Homme, this one is it can be really soothing as well. Definitely has a kind of like reserved businessman feel to it. So this one's good, guys. I'd recommend it too. Now, guys, y'all are with me to the end. We got Issey Miyake's Nuit de Issey's Blue Astral. So you could just search Issey Miyake Blue Astral. This is one of their. It started with Issey Miyake, and then they made their Nuit d'Issey, which was a flanker off of that. And then they had a whole line based off the Nuit version. So it's kind of like a flanker of flankers. But what does this guy smell like? This one is quite different than even the Nuit. It does, I suppose, have a little bit of the darkness and a tiny bit of the smokiness from the original Nuit, even though the smokiness was quite light even there. This one is called Blue Astral, and I think it's a fitting name. It's kind of like a blue fragrance, but it has a, not necessarily a dark feel, but a deep feel. So if you wanted a fragrance that smelled like the depths of the ocean, like you were watching Net Geo and they're, 10,000 feet under the water, and it's kind of cold, it's kind of to itself. There's not a lot of movement, but it's kind of like there's movement here and there, and the waves are just going, and it's cold. Again, this fragrance just makes me think of cold water. It is a bit deep. It is quite interesting. It's very well blended and complex. It's really hard to pick the notes out of this fragrance. I'm sure it has all the notes kind of a normal blue fragrance would have, but they really pulled off something here. This is a really interesting fragrance, guys. Honestly, this is great for like summer nights, or even if you're going to be indoors during the summer or the spring, maybe even the fall. This would be a really interesting fragrance. I think you could pull it off, if you're wearing clothes to go to the beach, oddly enough. Sunglasses, all that kind of stuff. Or maybe you just want something that's easy to wear, but you're one of those sharp-dressed men kind of guys, and you wanted your aquatic. I think this has a little bit of that seductive edge to it, but it's a blue fragrance. I don't know of anything like it out there. So let me know if you've smelled it. Let me know if you like it. This stuff is different, but it's good. So that's what this review has been about. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope that something stood out to you. This is truly, I think, one of the best designer lists for interesting fragrances. Some of these are very good designer fragrances. They smell very good for the money, and they can be very affordable if you go to the right places. So guys, I hope you are enjoying these. Maybe I'm helping your fragrance addiction too much, or maybe I'm just helping some of the guys new to fragrances. I hope that you are enjoying yourself, smelling great, having fun. So that's what this is all about, guys. This is it's a joy, again, to make these reviews and to see all of y'all liking and commenting, all your support. Hit the notification bell for regular content. Let me know again if you buy any of these fragrances off my recommendations. And I'm here for you guys at the Scent-A-Tart channel. Part people, part fragrance. Until next time, you know how it goes. Peace out.